Hi, I spent 3 days in Montana last week with Snowy Mountain Rifles in their Long Range Academy Level 2 development class. I wanted to put this video together to show you how much fun it was and to give you a little bit of an idea what it would be like if you were to go to this class. Paul and his group of instructors will help you shoot targets from 400 yards to 1200 yards. You'll shoot across a canyon, you'll shoot prone, and you'll shoot mostly off of a tripod. Why a tripod? I thought the same thing. But when you're in a situation where you can't use your bipod and you can't shoot prone, a tripod can be a pretty steady platform, as I learned last week. You'll be on a private ranch that's so beautiful that it's worth the trip alone. You'll be given a Snowy Mountain rifle that's half MOA accurate or better, with custom ammo that was developed for that rifle. You'll be given a Kestrel to use that will help you with your elevation and your windage, and you'll be instructed on how to use that if you don't know how to use a Kestrel, which was good for me because I have a Kestrel but I haven't used it that much, so that was worth it as well. I hope you enjoy this video. If you are thinking about attending a long-range class, please consider this one because it's well worth it and you won't regret it.
All the forks, and I was going to show everybody that and have them do all that as well. What I do when I show everybody, I'll probably be all the way in the back, right? And I need to move up a ways. Okay, so everybody's arm length's different, hand size is different. You need to put your hand where you're comfortable at a 90-degree angle on your trigger here. Then your thumb, we do not wrap it over the top. It just sits on the side of the stock. Okay, so we're on target, our squeeze, 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 bang, gun goes off. We're staying in our scope the entire time. Recoil, recoil management, and we're watching our impacts downrange. We're keeping this trigger squeezed to the back of the shoe until we've seen what our impact is done and we're ready to reset, right? So squeeze, 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 bang, staying inside the scope. I see my impact, I'm still holding the trigger to the back of the shoe. All right, I know what I'm gonna do. Let the trigger come forward. Next round goes in the gun. If we need to make a scope adjustment, whatever needs to happen next. So build that habit of holding that. And when I say hold it until you decide to reset, that just builds that habit. Because what you don't want to do is this, right? That's going to lead to slapping the trigger. That's why you want to build that habit of holding that trigger back. Because if you squeeze bang and then finger immediately comes off, that's going to lead to slapping the trigger. So we want a nice easy squeeze. Squeeze, 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 bang, gun goes off. Recoil management, spot our impact downrange, still holding the trigger set. Now release it. So build that habit of doing that. It'll help you not to slap the trigger. So I still got his trigger pinned to the rear. So I'm finding where I impacted on this target. So I haven't, okay, there we are. Trigger still pinned to the rear. Now I'm gonna let it reset. I know where my next shot needs to go to get to zero. So right now what I'm doing is I'm using my reticle as a measuring tool. Right, so this gun, I just put it back together today. My elevation on that shot was good, and I am 2.5 MOA left.
No chance that's shooter error though, right?
No.
There's a high chance.
No, fuck up my shoe. Bring this up.
melatonin.
Yeah. We'll put brothers. Yeah, we can put our units right next to each other. Me,
look lower, Joe.
when tripods are down below us or above us, we can work our body in around the tripod rather than it's actually a little bit harder the way we did it on flat ground yesterday. So my favorite is still, especially when you can get here and then you got support on both your knees, and then come in to the scope. Like that's really, really steady. I really like coming to the scope. You know, it seemed like you kind of liked this yesterday, lad. This is good.
Yeah.
I like to come around to the front, grab here, but I really like to incorporate my knees or my shins in some way. Like a lot of times I'll wrap around the side of my knee here and then, or be on top of my knee and kind of pull it into myself, pull it into my knee, pull it into my shoulder. Again, pressure straight back into our body and straight back into the gun is okay.
Okay.
We're just not putting torquing pressure on the gun, right? So
Right.
we still want a nice loose hand grip. Come up here to 90 degrees with our finger. We're not putting torquing pressure on the gun. We're pushing into the gun, pulling the gun into our body, right? And like what we did in level 1 and what we did yesterday is kind of right best case scenario. We're prone. We can kind of let the gun just sit there and free recoil into us. But when we start to get in positions and tripods, you know, we're not in the best case scenario anymore. So we're going to still try to hold our most ideal position as possible, but sometimes we're going to have to move around and do stuff, right?
Yep.
Clear. So I really like this right here, right? Ideally, you're still a little more, if you can, squared up behind the gun. So that would allow me to do this, come up a little bit higher, or coming onto target, tightening, and then I'm here.
Hear people better. That's the key. You can hear people better.
Little target orientation from where I'm sitting. There's a couple targets I can't see over here, and we'll move.
Competition over there.
You're gonna have a little wobble zone, right? Logan, are you guys shooting? There, my thumb, as I'm breathing in, and the barrel's coming down because I'm filling my body with oxygen. Or sorry, the barrel's coming up. It's gonna go down below the target. As I exhale, I'm gonna come back onto target. As I hit the bottom of my breath and my natural respiratory pause, I'm now I'm now centered up on my target. Bang. That's where that gun needs to go off. If you need to breathe again, start that process over.
That's wrong ones.
So we will just go ahead and start on that bottom green target,
Do you see regular bio?
No, it's in the range finding binos.
which is 417. So I'll go ahead and grab your gun. Go ahead and have you grab your tripod and your gun.
Like anything close to 414.
It almost happened. Yeah. So hard.
He just doesn't back the ball very good, but he hits it. Yeah.
Right, I'm still going to get recoil.
There's going to be a lot less recoil.
But what'll happen is
getting a lot less getting kicked off a target.
It's going to recoil, right? And then just the weight of my upper body will push me back forward and bring me right back on target.
Versus getting kicked off to the side and now you're trying to find target again. Right, we're still getting recoil, but you're going to manage it better and you're going to recoil back and then just slide right back forward onto target.
Yeah. So if you're going to recoil, right, it's going to recoil until it doesn't anymore, right? And the weight of our upper body is just going to push that back down into target. So I'll have you guys get set up. I'll take Joe and Steve up here, and we're going to shoot some awkward
You gonna go up
side
there?
hill. Yeah,
Okay.
we're just going to go 15 yards.
Yeah, you guys go up there, we'll shoot off of this and then we'll just switch.
The other thing with the tripod is always go taller than you think. So guys, runners up. Good shot. Almost perfect height. Just a couple inches light off the center.